Okay, I'm trying something new, but it seems number one, lagging, and number two, I don't like the angle. So I have to use my phone to take pictures. And I pulled out my iPad that I used to use at work just 5, 6 months ago, and it is so laggy. It's looking okay now, but I wanted it to be a little bit better so you guys could see what I was doing. And I look really tired. I have to tell you what I did last night, and maybe to add up to why I'm looking so tired. I got speakers here that I can't use anymore, so maybe we have to just move stuff around a bit, which I don't mind at all. Because, and then I can move this down. You know, the iPad gives you a whole different, whole different look on things. So, and I have this lamp here that I never use, and now I have speakers here that I can't use anymore. I have a laptop that I used here, but it literally died. So, what do you think? We're getting better. Ooh, drop you off the end here, and then I can drop you down a little bit. Ah, not bad. Not bad. We're getting there. But for right now, I can rearrange this stuff later. Um, Actually, it gives me a lot more room, and I can see the stickers that I've got from everybody. This might work. This just, why don't you go back anymore? Oh, because you are all the way back. Okay. All right. Well, here we are in the cave. I have pictures to take. I wanted to do a live, and we'll talk about what I'm taking pictures of. And it's probably going to be kind of bright in here. I apologize for that, especially the overhead light, but I need, where is it? Can I do it? That one. I need that light specifically for my lighting. So what do we have? We have here a pair of soft surroundings. I don't know if I'm going to show you the tags on all of these. This tag got messed up a little bit. But these are soft surrounding pants. They're kind of fun. And like I said, I need to get these pictures taken tonight. I've been doing a lot this weekend. Excuse my back. You're going to see a lot of it. Let me get my phone. It's charging a little bit. Everything is charging tonight. Everything. So I set up my phone, and that's what I use to take pictures. And I put it in 4.3 square mode. And that's what I use. And I need the back to it. And y'all are going to have to holler really, really loud if you come in, because my back's going to be to you most of the time. And I don't even remember what I got these for, pants for how much. The soft surrounding tags always get tangled up, and they turn and everything. And I don't like my finger in the pictures, so I put my finger underneath the material to hold the tags down. But I'm not real sure the material content of this is missing. It's definitely a cotton poly blend. It's got a nice elastic waist. And these will be going up for sale pretty soon. Pretty soon. I try to keep everything as organized as I can. Ah, Betty Boop. Betty Boop. So I'm going to take a picture of her. I'm not going to put the arm over like I do normally because I want to show the Betty Boop picture on here. It says naughty, but this is actually, I think, yeah, it's a juniors XXL large, and it's got cotton poly in it. It's like a thermal, a little bit of a thermal shirt. I am not, I don't know how well the Betty Boop stuff sells. I think it sells okay, enough to take the pictures, but don't know any other that. And this, okay, so this is a Johnny Was wannabe. And the brand is actually called AK. And I had to look it up. It's not actually a bad brand. It's not a popular brand. It's got the roll-up sleeve, which I like to take the one sleeve and roll it up so people see that. And then I always like to show the tag so people know it's brand new with tags. I don't worry about wrinkles too much. I do worry about any kind of hairs or anything on it. But I always like to take a nice close-up of the embroidery work that is on this. This one's actually lined, and I love when they have the button still attached to the tag. So people know, like, say if something would happen to one of the buttons, they could put it on, and that would be cool. Just help sell a little bit more. If the buttons are showable, I like to show them. All right, next up, another brand that I really like, EP. This is a golf brand. A lot of polos. Generally, it's a little eclectic. Has some cute designs in it. This actually has a hit on the back. But I don't think it's going to matter too much. I'm probably going to price it down a bit just because of the hit. Not a lot. It's so hard sometimes to not get your fingers in the picture. Yeah, it's an S with a, I don't know, like an elongated cross or crown. So I always make sure I highlight that so people know. And I guess I can tell you guys. Okay, here we go. Soft surroundings again. I love the beadwork. It's a nice dress. Kind of gives an oriental feel. It's a size extra large. It's 100% linen. Probably going to list this for about $25, $30. I was going to one of my thrift shops the other day, and I remembered that they were tearing down the soft surrounding building in the city. And I had driven by it so many times, and I was going to take a picture, and I didn't. And so Monday I drove by. I was prepared, had my phone out. I was going to pull over to the side of the road, and the building was gone. She was gone, so I missed that opportunity. Soft Surroundings was huge in St. Louis. People really love the brand. You find it everywhere. Garage sales, it's just always out and about. And I thank you guys for being here with me while I get my job done. I will tell you what I did last night. I deserve a medal, and I deserve a t-shirt that says, I survived the grandkids. So I babysat for my son and daughter-in-law. I hate the in-law thing. I always consider her just my daughter. 511s. I won't pass them up. They sell for me. Um, these are actually a women's size 12. I got these at a garage sale for $2. I think it was a mistake, but I asked and they said $2. And I said, okay. And I bought them. They appear to be brand new, but there's a little, I need to cut something off real fast. There we go. So my son and daughter wanted to go, daughter-in-law wanted to go to a concert. And so they asked me if I would watch all the kids. I said yes. And so I had a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old, and an almost 2-month-old. And it was just an interesting night. So the 3-year-old is being potty trained and she's doing real well at it, except for when her Nona is there. So the 1-year-old I had to change his diaper. He was messy. As soon as I got the diaper off and started to clean him up, the 3-year-old had to go to the bathroom. And she's like holding herself and like antsy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I cleaned the 1-year-old off, ran to her, got her situated. The baby starts crying because she's hungry. And I had 3 crying at the same time. And then it was time for the 1-year-old to go to bed. And I just learned tonight, so he wears a monitor on his foot, which I think is the coolest thing ever. Because when she puts him to sleep, first of all, it has an alarm. And second of all, if there's a problem with his heart or his pulse, it lets her know. And I think it's just absolutely amazing. But anyway, I guess I put it on wrong, but it worked better than when my son puts it on right. And I was going to have them show me how to do it right. And then I said, nope, don't. I'm just going to do it the way I did it. If it works, it works. And we're going to leave it at that. But got him down. And the oldest one, she just wanted to hang out with her Nona. And the baby needed a bottle. And she gets kind of fussy at around 8 o'clock. So, of course, she gets fussy at 8 o'clock. Then the TV goes out, and I'm like, I've had it. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to survive. Finally, get the baby taken care of. The dog had eaten some bananas, and I guess that makes him have to go to the bathroom. So he had to go to the bathroom after I got the baby settled. Oh, it was just crazy. It was crazy. But you know what it was? It was hard, and but it was fun, and it was exciting. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna put these out here. It was just, I'll tell you what. So my son and daughter-in-law, they put a picture of themselves up at the place where they were for the concert, and to see the smiles on their faces, and they didn't have to worry about their babies. And I sent them pictures. My goal was to send them pictures every hour. They got 2 pictures. That's all they got. um, and they knew when I put the baby down because of the monitor, because that's on their phones as well. Um, it was just kind of crazy. So when they don't stay on the board, I do them right here on the floor. So excuse me while I do this picture on the floor. But I told them my name. Oh yes, and the baby, she threw up on me. Um, all over me to where I was going to go get one of my son's shirts and put them on, but I never had a chance. And I was telling them all the things that happened to me through the night. And the 3-year-old was still up because she was finally got her Nona and got to sit by me by herself. And then her parents came home. And hold on, I need to get more light. Oh, where's that light shadow coming from? Hold on. Oh, I see. So that was my night. And I came home, and again, I had purpose that, oh, I'm going to do pictures. Sure you are. I came home and crashed. And I didn't do a live because that was why, because I was barely alive with the grands. But it all went well. And everybody's still alive. I stopped over there tonight because my daughter-in-law is going to have a garage sale tomorrow. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to thin out some of the things that I have. And so if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm on the ground taking a picture that won't lay on the flat board. It won't stay because of the type of material it is. So I do it right here on the ground, and it really doesn't matter because I use Photo Room to take the background out. So even if my toes get in the picture, it doesn't matter. I didn't even show you how this is an Athleta. This is a extra large button down, really soft material. And obviously, probably, let me see. I know I took a picture of it, but I didn't pay attention. Nylon and spandex. Very nice. So this is another one that won't stay up here. I thought of trying to use let's do this. We're here. We have time. I have a couple different, oh sure, just fall. Everything just fall. This is what happens when you have stuff over stuff over stuff over stuff. Hold on. Let me pick this up. Start again. Okay. So I thought of trying to use Trisha's flat lay. Can I do it? Nope. I wonder if it'll work. And now that I have you guys here, let's see if it'll work. And somehow if I can hang it on the board, I just think the pictures look better if they were hanging than laying on the floor. So if you are not familiar with this hanger, you should be, because it is amazing. You know what, guys? This might work. Ah, look at that. Look at that. There's my phone. There it is. That is tremendous. And that helps a lot. This is, I had to look this up. It is 100% silk. It is Peter Cohen. And I actually picked it up for myself, but I didn't like the dark color. Says the girl who always wears gray. It's this extra large. Like I said, I don't like my fingers in the pictures. I just don't. I try to avoid it at all costs, but sometimes that takes a little bit of manipulation. There we go. Oh, but I gotta make this a little bit darker. All right. We have a way to do this now instead of bending all the way down on the ground, which is kind of why we started the whole flat board anyway. So now I have a flat board and a flat board hanger. How about that? And it works. And it works very well. So, I'm going to have to put it somewhere. Boom. I've always said where there's a will, there's a way. And there might be a will and a way in frustration, but there's always a will and a way. Somehow, somewhere. All right. This is a Patagonia t-shirt. If you are not aware, you should pick up, if you find Patagonia that is stained or ripped or torn and they're not asking a ton of money for it, pick it up, because you can always return it to Patagonia for a credit. I have a little pile that I've kind of already started where I accidentally picked up some Patagonia that, you know, might have been stained or torn. And I'm going to get to that point where I take it in. And I think that's very cool. Okay, here's another one. Is this Ming Wang? No, Vicky V. Vicky V. There's a story with the Vicky V's. I was in Savers. This was a little bit ago. And I saw the Vicky V pants. There was 3 of them. And I was kind of like, I'm not going to get them. They just look like some ordinary pants. I'll be fine. This one's actually new with tags. It's a size 4X. I'm going to leave these, I think, out. And then I went over into the shirts. It was probably like, 20 minutes later. And I picked up a shirt, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I better comp this out, because you never know. Comped it out. Great seller. I went back and tried to find the pants. I only found 1 out of the 3 that were there. I picked them up, and it was like boom, boom, boom. They sold. I was like, I will remember Vicky V forever. So I believe that I picked this up as well from Savers. But so remember that, Vicky V. Here we go. And I've had to change how I do things. I'm going to tell you what, though, my back is hurting, but not from this. It's hurting from hauling around babies all last night. Nonas are not meant to raise babies. That is for sure, for sure. That was a lot. And then they asked me to do it again on Saturday, and I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that again. But Friday we're going to take all the kids someplace really fun in the city. As long as we don't have rain. I really, really, really want to paint my deck, but I haven't been able to. Oops, my bad. St. John. Not always a big deal anymore. It's kind of funny how things change, but St. John used to be, and it still is in some realms, a good brand. It is a good brand. It's just not always a good resale brand. But this is, I believe, 100% silk as well. Yes, and silk sells. Oh, where'd it go? Well, maybe we'll never know. I thought it was silk. I don't see a tag on it. Oops, let's do the back. So you guys helped me tonight to get this done with this hanger, because I was kind of sad that I wasn't able to use the hanger anymore, but now the hanger has purpose again, and I like that. But the hanger will not help me with pants. Nina Mecklemore, really good brand. Hold on, let me get rid of this up here. Driving me crazy. A little reminder. These are not going to stick on the board as well. I believe, are these silk? Yes, these are silk lined in polyester. Silk does not lay well on the flannel, on the board, flannel board. Maybe that's what I'll call it. That, a flannel board, is a blast from my past. I sell Nina Mecklemore really well. People that know the brand, they know. If you know, you know. This is always good exercise though. Up and down, up and down. This one might not have a choice to have my finger in it. These are a size 18. It's a nice size. Just like a dress pant. Maybe not really an office pant, I don't think. Maybe, I guess it depends on what kind of office work you do. And like I said, the background doesn't really matter too much. The color does to me. Ooh, go back. There we go. Trying to get it the right color. So I have 4 stacks of clothes to do tonight. This will be stack number 2. And depending on how this goes, we'll see if we're going to do any more. Is it my earbud, do you think? Or is it when I turn my back? I tried this setup. So this is my iPad from when I used to work. And these are earbuds, believe it or not. These are the AirPod Pros that I got at a thrift store for $15. So I wonder why. I'm wondering if it's not picking up. No, it says it is. Hold on, let's see something. I think these are maybe charged enough. They are. Let's try something. I know. Well, I had a computer down here that was pretty much worthless, so I just changed it out. So, whoops. Is that better? Yes, no? I guess I have to turn my back on you, huh? To figure it out. Your volume turned all the way up. Oh, that's horrible for people who turn in to hear me. They're not going to be able to hear me. So I wonder if it's the setup, if it's the earbuds. Oh, there's a string. So is that better? Better, yes. Better, no. I also know that it was lagging. I think I haven't used this laptop or this iPad for about 6 months, so it may need updates. So I don't know. Really though, from with the earbuds in? Because these are doing the same thing. I lost my phone. Because I don't think they're paired on the phone. No, they can't be because the phone isn't on. Something else to figure out, you know, it's always something. Always something. But I will get it worked out because I'm stubborn. Oh, where is the material? This is like a seersucker. Oh, there it is. And then I'll probably just clear the, I'm trying to think what it could be. But when I get closer, you hear me better. So it's making me think the earbuds are not connected to the iPad. Because then I think you're just picking up the volume on here. And that's why it changes. I'll make a bet. Betcha, betcha. Something I'm going to have to work on. This, I believe, is another soft surroundings. soft surroundings. Oh man, that means nobody heard my crazy story about babysitting the grands. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Well, I think what I'll do then, I have one more item. I will do that, and then I will just call this live a night and try to figure it out. But I'm wondering, and I can't figure it out, I don't think, like right now, while you guys are on here. Oh, you're walking. Can you hear me? I think the earbuds aren't working. I don't think they're connected, even though they say they are. Linda says that when I turn my back, she can't hear me as well. So is that what happens to you as well? I have a new setup. Hold on. So I have a new setup down here. This is my iPad, and I got rid of the laptop because I wasn't using it anyway because it didn't work. So, oh, you can hear me though? Yay. Okay. The babysitting story was like legit. And I know my daughter-in-law was very worried. She is, I just, you know, she's attached to her children, and who isn't? It doesn't matter who's watching them, me, her mom, her sister, it wouldn't matter. She would worry about them. But it was just crazy. Addie was like throwing his food on the floor, and Aspen's like, up, up. And the baby's like, I want to eat. And it was just crazy. I don't know how my daughter-in-law gets anything done during the day. Now you can't hear. I'm going to have to figure this out. And I don't think I can figure it out while you guys are on here. I know that the laptop or the iPad was lagging. And I've got the earbud in. You're trying to go in and out, or it's going in and out? They want me to do it again. Hold on, let me try this. Oh, now it's, hold on. Okay, now it says they're connected. Does that seem better? You know, with anything new, connected to my phone, but then it said it was connected on the iPad as well. Okay, you're good, but if I turn my back on you, are you still good? That's the question. Because I still have 2 more piles of clothes to do. Oh, I hate when the color change. I got to show you guys this brand. I only seen it a couple times, and it sells pretty well. But it is like a vintage. Hold on, one more picture in the back. I guess I'm just gonna have to do some. You just see me running around looking for cords for things I haven't used in six months. Come on now, work with me here, guys. Help me out. Oh, it's gonna be an ugly picture, but it's done. All right, so 2 bundles are done. So, yay! As long as you stand in front of the camera setup, I can hear. But Carolyn can hear me otherwise. That's weird. Just saying. But I will get it figured out. I like the iPad down here because then when I'm not live and I'm just down here working, I can listen to things, but I'm sure that the iPad needs an update. It's been 6 months and I had to move things around. I'm going to have to clear off that laptop and get rid of it and go from there. But I did want to say something. I wanted to make people aware of this. Where are my bags? So I realized something the other day. You know, we get these bags, like if you have a store, you can get these bags with your credit. It might be on your phone. It just seems weird. But we can buy these with our credit for the store, right? And I also use these bags. I either get them from Amazon, and the link is in my link tree, or I buy them from, can't remember the name of the store now. But anyway, these bags are heavier than these bags. So now what I've been doing is I will put the item that I'm shipping on my scale, and I fold the bag. But I pretty much know it's like 0.2 ounces heavier. And it's cool, except for sometimes it'll push you up over the, you know, like it'll go, like this would be 11 pounds, but this would be 12. And although I haven't seen a big difference as far as money wise, I know that there's a break in there somewhere, and it has to make a difference somewhere along where it bumps you up to the next price range. And I wanted people to be aware of that. I haven't heard anyone talk about it or say anything about it. Yeah, so just be careful what bags you use and the weight of the bag. I mean, I never considered it until recently, and I was like, geez, the bag feels heavier. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta place these out here to put them in the bin. So it's been quite a while, and I haven't had to add any more bins. I've just been refilling bins, and I like that. This bunch here, which I'm not sure I'm going to do it tonight because I am getting kind of tired, but I got these. I was at Goodwill, and I bought these for $4. I kind of messed up, but $4.78. They are I believe, a men's 3X Unik, U-N-I-K, men's chaps, except for they're a little mixed up here. Let me see. There we go. There we go. Didn't take much. So I have finally got them into the processing, and I'm going to do pictures of them and see what I can do. They're like leather. They're very heavy. I was going to see how much they weighed, but I think I'm going to have a bowl or something because they're heavy and they're kind of wide. There's a lot to them. A lot of metal, a lot of leather. Maybe I can see. Let's see if we can figure it out. Well, tonight I haven't listed any. I'm just taking pictures, but every night I try to list at least 5 items. My goal is 10, 3 pounds, 6 ounces. And that is probably real close to that. Wow. I gotta write that down so I don't forget. But each night I try to list at least 5 items. Tonight I'm taking refill pictures, like this has been 45. And whoops, these will just fit inside bin 45. And I've sold that many things out of bin 45 that I can use it. I have 4 more bins that I have to fill up. Garage sales are tomorrow. I'm excited about that. So I don't know, how many pieces did you list and for how long? I list them until they're sold. That's how I list. And then I went through that entire list the other night you saw, and I already sold one thing from that, those 15 items that I redid the listings, and some of them I did better pictures, and I've already sold one thing from it, and it sold at the full value. So it just shows sometimes it's good to go back over your work and see, because, you know, we're not all perfect and things change. Back then, let's see, these are the bins on this shelf. How do I do that? There we go. On this shelf that I did in January. So I did all of these. And then in this January coming up, I'm going to do all of these. And each year I'm just going to continue that. I have several more bins out there. I have 120 bins all together. And 5 seasonal, which do not get refilled. They just are seasonal and they rotate. Summer, winter, summer, winter. So let's see how many get. 1, 2, 3. I have 5 more shelves out there. So 5 years, and then I'll start over again. So who knows where we'll be in 5 years, you know? Oh, yeah, I did photos today on 2, you know, like this. And it maybe takes me maybe an hour, if that, to do all the pictures. And then I take them upstairs and I load them onto the computer and I put them into Photo Room and I take the background out. Well, Photo Room takes the background out. And then the only other thing I have to do is just run through them and make sure, because sometimes Photo Room, if you have something with a, okay, like this. So if you have something with a white tag, it almost like this reflects in the app and it kind of gets all weird. So I have to pull this from my original listing to my original pictures to use, because I can't use the Photo Room one. And then I don't need to list these yet. I still have one more page of listings upstairs. So that's kind of how the process goes. Like I've got these 4 like bundles, pages. This is a page. So I do a page in my book. Hold on. I'll be right back. We're going to do this. Hold on. I'll show you. We'll run through the whole process. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me. I'm going to go all the way upstairs. I hope it doesn't disconnect. Did I stay connected? Did it work? Okay, so let me find. If I can find it. Boom. Okay. So a few days ago, I was out into the garage and I did this. So I went through my pieces that I'm going to put in bin 45 and I wrote them down here. There's the price. This is just a abbreviation of where I got them. And this is just, each one takes 2 lines. When I go down, anything that is not clothing goes down here. Just what I do. So these 45 are these 45s. And I put the little tag on it. I actually use these from the place that I shop. Number 1, because they really stand out. These are these that I did the other day. So they come into the house and they sit on a little table. And then when I get to them, I take pictures of them. Then they go upstairs. Then they run through Photo Room. And once they're in Photo Room, I do EPM. Okay, so then I put EPM and an S. So eBay Poshmark Mercari. And when they're listed, and then I put the date right here. So I don't know if this, it's just how I do it. It's how it works for me to stay organized. The S is for sheet. So that's when I take all of these and I list them on Jason's spreadsheet. And then that's how I keep track of what sells, when something sells, and how I know how much I make every week and every month. It seems like a lot,
but it really isn't. It's how you, once you get this down. Now my son he just hates that I do this. He thinks it's an extra step and I shouldn't have to do it and I should just do it into the spreadsheet. And he's probably right, but this works for me. So that's what I'm doing. I love it. It was very, number one, putting everything in was very simple, and keeping track, I always lose track, but keeping track of everything is like way simple. It just, you do a little bit of the work, but you move stuff over when you sell it. You put how much you sold it for, and then it tracks everything for you. It like keeps like all kinds of data, like what sold, how much sold, what stores sold from. So like, say I'm going to Goodwill in O'Fallon, Missouri, but nothing is selling from there. I'll learn that by the spreadsheet, and I'll learn that, what, maybe O'Fallon doesn't have the best stuff, so maybe I won't go there right now. I'll cut it out my list and stop. And I like it. It is. And like I said, my son does not sell clothing, and what he sells is, it's like the same thing, but different. I like Legos, but it isn't. It's like Legos. That's what he sells. I guess that's the best way to say it. And, so he has a bunch of different pieces, but they're all Legos, so it doesn't matter. And I sell a bunch of stuff that might be shirts and stuff, but they're all different. Everything is different, and they're rarely ever the same. But this is how I started doing it, and I have kept all the books since I got serious. And even, I think I could probably throw the first 2 out by now, because I'm sure that stuff is all gone. But, and I don't have to go back to them as much as I used to, because I'm doing better at keeping track. Jason's spreadsheet has helped a lot. I don't have to look here for an item now. I just look there, and I can see if it's sold, if it's still listed. I can see what bin it's in, and that helps a whole lot. And this is just kind of how the process goes for me, from the processing to the pictures, to the processing of the pictures, to listing. And it just works for me. And I guess that's why I share it, because I want people to be able to, take bits and pieces from what I do and make your own pattern. And if I give you an idea, use it. And if not, I used to have a friend who said about advice, eat the meat and spit out the bones. So that's how I feel. If I say something that's meat worthy, then take it, and if not, just spit it out. It ain't no good. But that's how my process goes. And then in here is where it's like a full circle. It goes upstairs, and then it's in the bin, and then when I sell it from the bin, like this, I sold this today. This is actually, I sold a few things today, but I already mailed them out. But I had a question on this for the buyer, and she still wants it. But this is a Zegna Sport, and so when it sells, it comes right back here on the table, and all my packing stuff is here, and this is where it goes, and then from here out the door. So that is it. It does work for me. I like it. So plus I don't like this. And I'm wondering, because I have a long cord on it, I bet I could put it up there. But that would take more moving around. But I could do that. And maybe the angle would be better. Let's see. So if I took it and put it up here, oh, would that be better? I like that better. That's a better angle. A lot of light. That might be the next move. We'll have to see. Because this is like too much like, hey, I'm here, I'm in your face. So that is it. So that's my live, and that's why I wasn't here last night. I was, and you know what hurt? I hurt here. I think it's the muscle right in here, and my arms were just a little sore because up. Everybody wanted held. When I held the 3-year-old, the 1-year-old wanted held. He wanted held, then he didn't want held, then he wanted held, then he didn't want held. And then, of course, the baby, you know, you've got to feed her and burp her and take care of her. So when I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, what is that? There's a muscle there? Didn't even know there was one. No way. Oh, that is better than my deal. I got designer dresses for $5. And I was really bummed. It's just, I have been trying to paint my deck for 2 months. And number one, I have to get permission from the community association for the color. And that took 2 weeks, but it rains. And then you need 5 days, and I need more than that because one side of my deck is shaded, so it takes a lot longer. And it just rains, more rains. This has been the wettest spring ever. And, oh, that's a great name. There will be more. There will be more. That's one thing I do know, that even if you miss something, you know, sometimes we get sick and we can't go out. But anyway, I thought for sure there were no garage sales around me. I have a garage sale app, and I look on Facebook, I look on Craigslist, and I saw nothing. And my son was like, well, just go to an area, you know, like 20, 30 minutes away. And I'm like, I'm already getting up at 6 o'clock. And I didn't want to do it. Well, then I went to volunteer, and there are 3 garage sales on the way tomorrow. And then I went to visit my son, and there's one right down the street. So, oh, it's been awful. So there will be 4 garage sales I'm going to go to tomorrow, and then I'm going to go help my daughter-in-law at the garage sale since I dumped all my stuff on her. I feel it's only fair. But yeah, I think I'm gonna move that up there. Which means I'm going to have to move around some things. But I just have a cool little stand. And plus, I would like it to be like this way. I don't know if I can do that or not on that stand. You know what? We just grow and we go. We just change it. But I don't like this angle at all. Plus, it's like looking up at me, and I don't like that. So I think if I put it up there, that might be better. We'll try it out. Wait, what boots? Wait. Oh my gosh. I love Ariat boots. I love that brand altogether. And anytime I see a guy in it, like, because it has the logo on the back, and then the jeans have the 3 strikes, I'm like, I know what that is. I know what that is. Are they leather boots? Are they size 10, women's? Just wondering. I wonder where they get their clothing from that they can sell it for that. I know for me, where I go, it's donated, so. That is probably the biggest perk and the biggest downfall of reselling, is keeping the things. In fact, that Athleta shirt that I had earlier was mine, but I found one in a smaller size that fit me better, and so I just traded them out. So, oh, whatever, 8.5. Okay, man. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to find tomorrow. Sometimes the ladies around here just throw their stuff at you, and then sometimes it's ridiculous. And there was a couple of estate sales, but I didn't get to do them, and I don't know. Just sometimes if they're not real close, I just don't feel like doing them. So my tank top's all bunched up. I would love to do a storage unit. My son and I have looked at it. See, back in the day, individual storage companies used to do their own. But now there's companies that do them. There's one called Storage Treasures, and I don't like theirs because it just seems like every picture you see, it looks as if it's been gone through. And I questioned them on it, and they said that they don't handle it's the people at the storage unit. So I kind of gave up on that dream right now. So oh man, it's all right. There will be more. There will be more. I know. I get disappointed when I go, like that Jewish women's place that I go on Mondays. Yeah, but sometimes those people do not get to the bottom. They sort, like that's the same thing at the bins. Nobody gets to the bottom. And if you start at the bottom and like pull, you can find some good things. I don't know if that's the case with where you were at, but and Linda, yeah, my garage sales have not been good. Last week was not that good at all. I don't even think I did a video on it. I'm hoping to. But like Monday on the Jewish women's place that I go is 50%. They're all designer, long sleeves, men's and women's. I believe it's shirts and sweaters. But they didn't have hardly any sweaters out when I was there on Monday. So, man, some people don't know brands either. Sometimes I'll follow people, you know, I try not to be ignorant about it, and I try not to jump ahead of them, but I'll follow somebody who's, you know, they're a reseller, they're just sorting, and I'll find so many things, and I'm like, they don't know their brands. They don't know their brands. That's why it's so important to watch, you know, like whoever you watch, you know, like I favor K-Way, Chris, and Brad, Jason here in St. Louis, because they show the brands, they talk about the brands, and I don't know everything. And I like learning from them, and hopefully people will like learning from me, because that's just how it goes, you know. Yep. In fact, Chris talked, I was catching up on his videos. I think it was his last video. He talked about, you know, social media and like how it takes forever to build up, you know, and that's what I'm doing is I'm just, you know, I'm out here with you guys and we're just talking and building up, and hopefully Dara will join us one day. She's the woman that I met and helped at the Goodwill downtown. I usually go there on Mondays too, but I'm not going to go there this Monday. I'm just going to hit up that one spot and I'm going to come home. I do have enough stuff, and if I get enough stuff there, it just depends. Sometimes they price things really high, like Tommy Bahama for $25. So half of that's not worth for me picking it up, unless it's like something really spectacular. They did have a Rain Spooner. Oh, and it killed me just to leave it because I'm like, this is not going to be here when I get back. I've not seen one in years. I appreciate you guys. I do. I told Brad on his thing that I needed a female bearded so that we can go thrifting together like him and Bearded do. And I realized why it works so well, because Brad does clothing and Bearded does like other things. And so it works well for them to go together because they're not like always in the same spot. I know my other daughter-in-law, she resells with my son who does the Lego thing. And she and I do clothing and purses and stuff. And we don't clash. We're not like that. Like if she always finds the best stuff. It just, I'm like, where was that? and she'll come walking out with like, Lululemon and a couple Coach bags. And I'm like, I didn't even see them. Like, how did she find them? But I haven't been thrifting with them in a while. Usually they invite me down, but they haven't invited me down. But that's okay. I'll just pout about it. Hopefully they'll see this video and feel sad for me. I'm not really. I was just looking to see if I had. I do. My tea it's very humid here. And so my tea has dripped on my table. Always have rags handy. Cut up some towels. Because I drink tea, I have tons of cut up towels because they just get ruined. Because they get tea stains on them and then they start looking kind of trashy. So when I go to the farmer's market, which is tomorrow, which I'm probably not going to get to go to. But that's something else I'm doing. I am not shopping this month. I am not going to a grocery store. I am not going to a Walmart, to a Target. I am not shopping personally. I am doing thrifting. 2 reasons. My grandson's graduation, and it's just, I have enough food here in my freezer. I'm going to start doing this once a year, taking a month, and I'm just not going to buy. I'm not going to buy anything, and I'm just going to be okay with what I have. So far, I have bought some frozen shawarma. It wasn't that good, but I know now, and I won't buy it again. I had some frozen beef tips, so I made beef tips and noodles, and I ate that for like 3 days. I sound like a pauper, I'm not. And tonight I made a chicken, whole chicken breast in an air fryer. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was very good. And I'll have the other one tomorrow with some rice. I have a feeling that it'll get rougher as I get closer, but I'm almost halfway through, and I've done it so far. And there's things I want to buy because I follow this guy called the Meat Dad, and he shows you how to cut up like bigger cuts of meat into, like stews or steaks or something. And I want to do that so bad, but not till July. Yeah, I mean, we Americans are so wasteful. I'll say I am so wasteful. And when I downsized here, I repurposed almost everything I have. And even if I had to wait for it, I rarely bought anything new. Because why? There's so many things that we can buy out here. And I think the same thing with food. I can't tell you the amount of food that I have thrown away because I forgot it was in the freezer, or it just got yucky, or I was picky. And so no. So it's going to get, I have some pierogies. I definitely have meat because we buy parts of cows, and I always buy, I buy a half of a quarter from my son because I don't need that much. And a half would just go to waste here. A quarter would just go. So an eighth of a cow, and then I trade them the ground beef because I can't do the ground beef in the tubes. It makes me gag. I just can't. I don't know why. I don't have any story. I don't know. It just is disgusting to me. And it just yeah. I can't even look at it in the stores. I'm like, yeah, no. Nope. And like how Jimmy Dean comes in. Nope. Nope. Can't do it. Won't do it. So I always trade them the ground beef for something else. So a lot of times they don't like stew meat, and I love stew meat. I love to cook it on the stove. And yeah. Things you didn't know about me. There you go. What else? What else is there? I don't know. Yeah, I waste a lot of food. I look at cans and I'm like, how did that get to be 2 years expired? I don't remember. But then I also know too, if you don't look when you buy sometimes, because I was at Kroger the other day, about 2 months ago, and I was picking up soups, And well, this had to be closer to winter because I was picking up soups for winter. And I picked up a few, and then I looked, and they were already like within a week of expiring. And I was going to put them in my shelf and think about them through winter. That's just not going to work. So we got to watch expiration dates. I've heard Walmart is really bad about that too, that they don't rotate their stock, I guess. So, and then too with the whole COVID thing, and now you have people who don't want to work or they can't get enough workers. Oh, I don't know. And why isn't this charging? My battery's going down instead of up. It doesn't show the earbuds on anymore either. Oh, you know, technology. I probably could just take them off. Boom. This needs charged. I got these at the place where I volunteer. These are the Pro 2, I think, for $15, still in the case and everything. And when I plugged them in and I tried to pair them for the first time, they belong to somebody, but yeah, nobody ever came after me, and I changed the name, and this is what I use. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to work on this. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I should be back here talking, and they're like, that's better. I'm not in your face. That's not staying charged. The earbuds kind of maybe are or aren't working. And tomorrow I will finish these next 2 bins because I don't really feel like doing it tonight. I had a long day yesterday. I will just sit them there, and I will do it tomorrow. But I can go upstairs and I can list. And I got to use this, which I haven't used in a while. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad I was able to use it again. Because number one, I paid for this. And then when I got the flat board, but now I can use it on things that slip. Now I just need to get some hooks to put on it. I have a hanger back there that has hooks, but all right, ladies. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yes. Yes. I have a pair that I found in the parking lot here. And I told the girl who at that time was the head of the HOA, I said, please send out an email and ask people if they're theirs. And she didn't. And nobody's ever asked about them or claimed them. And if you call, anywhere, Apple can't help you. They don't help you. So they're just sitting in a drawer upstairs. I feel bad. When I plugged them in, I forget what they said. It had a cute name, but nobody's name or anything. Mine have, like, these are not your AirPods. And the other one, I don't remember what it says. Might say Soho Posh. I don't know. This is the one I bought, and I put the little, thing on it, which I thought was cute. I don't know. And I found somebody's phone number, Flippin' Nurse. I know she's not out here, but I found her phone number she gave me a while ago. So I'm going to take that upstairs, and I have that. Oh, you did? You put the sign? When Ami was little, my grandson, he's not little anymore, but we would always do that back and forth to each other. We would always say, love you. All right, guys. Guess I'm going to go. I'm going to try to figure this out. Try to figure out why this isn't charging. But it's not really dying really fast. So, and maybe move it up here, which I like that better, which will give me more room on the table, but I have to find a spot to put all the bags that are there. It's doable. I can do it. If anybody can do it. I know one thing though, I'm not buying any more shelves. I am so done. All right, ladies, my crew, my bricks, whatever you want to be called. My beardeds. No, don't call me that. You guys have a great night. And I will be here tomorrow because I will show you what I got, no matter what it is, at the garage sales. And I'll talk about what I sold at my daughter-in-law's and if I sold anything at all. And we don't even know if it's going to rain or not rain or how this is going to work. She just wanted to do it, and so I said, let me bring over some stuff. So I took over about maybe 3 bags full of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. All right, everybody. Talk to you guys later. Talk to you tomorrow. Go to garage sales. Get some deals and tell me what you got. Bye.